Hello. Today is Friday, July 31st, 2026. Here is your daily signal. According to Fortune, Belgian authorities have arrested a Canadian intern at NATO's military headquarters on espionage charges, raising alarm about insider threats at the heart of the alliance. NATO has faced increasing espionage risks driven by heightened tensions with Russia and the proliferation of cyber-enabled threats. Despite efforts, vetting procedures for NATO staff are struggling to keep up with sophisticated infiltration attempts, especially in Brussels headquarters and field missions. The sharing of sensitive intelligence across 32 member states complicates internal security challenges. Recent reports from Politico highlight the suspension of a NATO staff member after unauthorized data transfer to a Russian-linked entity, while the Financial Times describes how at least 2 senior officials in the communications division are under investigation for failing background checks. BBC News revealed that NATO is now reviewing vetting procedures, following the arrest of a contractor in Brussels accused of leaking technical data to foreign intelligence. Stricter personnel vetting in the near term could delay onboarding and hinder operations. Reputational risks may undermine trust among alliance members, fueling calls for tighter controls on information sharing. Looking ahead, we may see advanced digital monitoring, expanded counterintelligence presence, and increased security budgets. Persistent threats could further strain intelligence sharing and impact alliance cohesion. Next, onto the shipping lanes at the Strait of Hormuz. Fortune reports that U.S. and Iran are edging toward talks as shipping traffic through the strait hits a 3-week low following escalated tensions and failed ceasefire deals. The Strait of Hormuz remains a critical maritime corridor. About 20% of global oil trade passes through annually. Since 2010, sanctions targeting Iran by the U.S. and EU have heightened geopolitical risks and recurring military tensions in the Persian Gulf, particularly between Iran and Western navies, often threaten the safe movement of commercial vessels. On July 31, Iran's navy conducted live fire drills near the strait, suspending commercial vessel passage for 6 hours. Lloyd's of London responded by hiking insurance premiums for tankers in the region, citing increased risk from renewed sanctions enforcement. The U.S. State Department announced the deployment of 2 additional Arleigh Burke-class destroyers, aiming to stabilize the area. Short-term disruptions could delay oil and LNG shipments, raising volatility in global energy prices. More extended standoffs may force shipping companies to reroute vessels, driving up freight costs and insurance premiums, while worsening sanctions and military activity threaten to destabilize the regional economy and reduce foreign investment. If the strait is closed for a prolonged period, Asian markets reliant on Gulf oil could be severely impacted, potentially accelerating a shift toward alternative energy routes. Turning now to the digital sector in India, TechCrunch reveals Cursor's major push with localized pricing ahead of its anticipated acquisition by SpaceX. Cursor, a SaaS analytics platform, has recently rolled out its localized pricing in India, targeting mid-sized enterprises with competitive rates to boost adoption. India's digital ecosystem is rapidly evolving, marked by increased foreign investment and widespread adoption of advanced analytics platforms, with localized pricing strategies historically shaping both user uptake and revenue dynamics for tech firms. SpaceX is in ongoing discussions to acquire Cursor, with executives visiting Bangalore for final negotiations as reported by Economic Times. In the near term, Cursor's pricing is expected to accelerate adoption of analytics tools among India's mid-tier digital companies, while SpaceX's acquisition could further market consolidation and enhance cross-border technology transfer in the SaaS sector. Medium-term, regulatory scrutiny from the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology may rise as it assesses the impact of foreign-led pricing on domestic competition. Local startups could face intensified competition and pressure to reduce prices or innovate to retain market share. Now, onto the markets. International equities saw mostly positive movement, with Spain posting the strongest day-on-day gain of 3.4% and Netherlands also advancing by over 4.5%. Germany, France, UK, Italy, and Chile registered gains between 1.6% and 2.6%, while Belgium was nearly flat and Qatar slipped marginally. Commodities showed mixed results as silver jumped by 3.3% and platinum rose 3%, but U.S. oil declined by 1.4%. Gold moved up 1.6% with copper and uranium also gaining, while corn edged lower by 0.4%. Among favorites, AMD surged 13% in day-on-day trading while Microsoft rallied 15.5%, and Adobe declined 5.9% despite strong momentum over the month. ARM and Intel both saw double-digit advances for the day but are down sharply for the month, while Apple dipped by 1.4%. In sectors, semiconductors were up 8.5% led by stocks, and clean energy rose 6.3%, while healthcare and real estate both posted small declines of about 1.6%. The S&P 500 ETF SPY moved higher by 1.7%, and finance, agriculture, and other sector benchmarks showed modest positive momentum. That's it for today. You can find more news and details on our website. Goodbye.